Example 3. Find the standard deviation of this sample of test scores, 81, 70, and 61. Notice this word sample. That tells us that we are not going to use the population standard deviation formula. Rather, we are going to use the sample standard deviation formula. So let's give that a try. I'm going to need a column for my x's, which are 81, 70, and 61. I'm going to need to add them up because in the next column I'll be doing x minus x bar. And to get the x bar, we need to add up our x's. So the sum of the x's is 212. X bar then will be 212 divided by the number of numbers, which is 3. And that gives me 70 point repeating sixes. I don't have much choice but to round off this time because I'm going to be using this number in a lot of calculations. So I'm going to round it off to 2 decimal places. That gives 70.67. So I'm going to have 81 minus 70.67 and 70 minus 70.67 and 61 minus 70.67. So I'll go over to my calculator and do those computations. Now I need to square those numbers. And of course I'll do that on a calculator again. I'm going to continue rounding to 2 decimal places. Now I need to add those up. The sum of the x minus x bar squareds is 200.67. Now we've got everything we need to plug into our formula. S equals square root of the sum of the x minus x bar squareds over n minus 1. Now n in this case is 3. Remember we used the 3 when we calculated the average. That's the number of numbers. But in this formula we use n minus 1. So I'll have square root of 200.67 divided by 3 minus 1 is 2. So the way I'm getting that is n minus 1 is 3 minus 1, which is 2. That's just a weird thing about this formula. So I'll go over to a calculator now. 200.67 divided by 2, and then I'll square root it. And that gives me, rounded to 2 decimal places, that gives me 10.02.